A very good morning to my respected teacher and all. Myself Joynob Khatun, student of BSc Nursing, third year, Alia University. Today, I am going to present a presentation on pediatric procedure, a very important procedure, that is endotracheal intubation and suctioning. First, we have to know what is endotracheal tube. An endotracheal tube is a flexible plastic tube that is placed through the mouth into the trachea, which is also called windpipe, to help a patient breathe. Here you can see a picture of endotracheal tube. There are so many parts, like patient end and another is machine end. And endotracheal tube can be cuffed and uncuffed. Cuffed endotracheal tubes are usually used in children greater than 8 years old, and the cuff, when inflated, maintains the endotracheal tube in proper position and prevents aspiration of contents from GI tract into respiratory tract. And in children less than 8 years of old, uncuffed endotracheal tube are usually used because the narrow subglottic area performs the function of a cuff and prevents the endotracheal tube from slipping. Then, size of endotracheal tube. Internal diameter. First, age neonate, gestational age week, less than 20 week. If child age is less than 28 week, then weight less than 1000 gram, then size of the endotracheal tube will be 2.5 mm. And 28 to 34 week, and weight is 1000 to 2000 gram, then size will be 3 millimeter. And age greater than 34 to 38 weeks, and weight, if weight is greater than 2000 gram, then size will be 3.5 millimeter. And if neonatal age is greater than 38 weeks and weight is greater than 3000 gram, then size will be 4 millimeter. And infant up to 1 year of age, then size will be 4 millimeter. And age greater than 1 year, then size will be age by 4 plus 4 millimeter. Then comes to the main important topic, that is the endotracheal intubation. First, we have to know what is the definition of endotracheal intubation. Endotracheal intubation is the placement of the special tube, that is obviously endotracheal tube, in the trachea. This is called endotracheal intubation. Intubation means placement something into the body. Then purpose or indication of endotracheal intubation: to secure the airway, to supply oxygen, for giving the general anesthesia, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, ventilatory therapy in ICU, obtain aspirates from culture if there is any microorganism affects the airway, then that time also we can aspirate the contents and send for the culture. Then assist in bronchopulmonary hygiene, alleviate subglottic stenosis. Then endotracheal medications such as epinephrine, lidocaine and atropine, etc. Then contraindication of endotracheal intubation: if there is any severe airway trauma or obstruction, cervical spine injury, epiglottitis, that is inflammation of the epiglottis, and sleeping apnea, nasal polyps, and recent nasal surgery, that time we can't do endotracheal intubation. Then what are the instruments needed for the endotracheal intubation? First, obviously endotracheal tube, or with or without cuff. I have already previously told the years. If we used uncuffed endotracheal tube less than 8 years of aged children, And cuffed endotracheal tube usually used in children greater than 8 years of age. 8 years of age. Then laryngoscope with blade, obviously for visualization. If proper placement, whether the endotracheal tube is properly placed or not. Then suction apparatus for suctioning, bag and mask with adjustable oxygen source, and cardiorespiratory monitor. Here is endotracheal tube. I have already told cuffed and the uncuffed. Then laryngoscope with blade. Here are very many types of blades are present, and here it is the suction apparatus. Then here is a bag and ambu bag, which is called for giving the for giving the ventilation. And here is the respiratory cardiorespiratory monitor. Then comes to the procedure for endotracheal intubation. First, before going to procedure, the main we have to know the main headings. That is first we have to do the equipment preparation, patient preparation, then article preparation, then hand washing, and then go to the procedure. First, assemble and prepare all equipments, then prepare the patient. And for preparing the patient, first we have to give the proper position for doing the procedure. And for this endotracheal intubation, we give snip position, rolled towel under the shoulder, or supine position. If we give supine position, do not hyperextend the trachea. Then hyperextend the neck. And the suctioning, suctioning is mainly three types: endotracheal suctioning, oropharyngeal, and nasopharyngeal. So suctioning, if needed, oropharynx and nasopharynx we can do. Then third, pre-oxygenation with high flow oxygen for 1 minute if possible. Do not bag if meconium aspiration or diaphragmatic hernia happen. Then monitor vital signs, that is temperature, blood pressure, and respiration, and respiration and heart rate, and obviously the SpO2, that is oxygen saturation in the blood, we have to monitor. Then giving the drugs, first hypnotic such as thiopentone 3 to 5 mg per kg, and midazolam 0.5 mg per kg, or propofol 2 to 4 mg per kg. Then we have to give muscle relaxant such as succinylcholine 1 milligram per kg, or rocuronium, that is 1 it is also we can give 1 mg per kg. Then intubate the trachea as soon as the patient has relaxed. Then come to intubation. First position, already patient positioning has done, so now we have to do our self position self at patient's head. Hold scope, that is laryngoscope, in left hand. Open mouth with fingers. Insert blade into right side of the mouth. Move blade to center of mouth, pushing tongue to the left. Then slowly advance the blade and live epiglottis till larynx is visualized. Sorry, here will be light. To better visualized, an assistant can place gentle pressure on the thyroid cartilage. Then insert endotracheal tube into right side of the mouth using right hand alongside of the blade down past the vocal cord. During inspiration, the stylet should be withdrawn gently if present. Then hold tube in position and confirm the position. The resuscitation bag is attached to the tube, and auscultation of chest on both sides and also stomach with mechanical breath is done to confirm proper endotracheal tube position. for proper if there is the endotracheal tube is properly placed or not, that should be confirmed by auscultation. Then secure the tube in place using tape. Cut the tube at above 0.5 cm from where it is taped to reduce dead space. Here is the procedure at a glance. First, equipment preparation. Prepare all equipments. Then position the patient. Then holding laryngoscope in the left hand, place in the right hand of the mouth and sweep to the left. Then pass endotracheal tube. Then confirm placement by auscultation and secure the endotracheal tube with tape and reduce the dead space. Then comes to the complications for endotracheal intubation. Tracheal perforation, esophageal perforation, laryngeal edema, improper tube positioning, tube obstruction or kinking, subglottic stenosis also can happen if there is for long time placement of the endotracheal tube or not properly placed the endotracheal tube. That time these complications also happen. Then comes to the another topic, that is endotracheal suctioning. First, what is the definition of suctioning? Removal of the secretions from tracheobronchial tree, that is also called the trachea, or it is the part of a lung through an endotracheal tube with the help of mechanical suction device. So then purposes of the suctioning: maintaining the patient airway by removing the secretions. Obviously, if there is any secretions present in the airway, that time breathing difficulty can happen. So monitor the patient airway properly by the suctioning. Then prevention of respiratory tract infection for lodgement of the secretions. If there is any secretions present for the long time, that time the various types of infection can happen due to the lodgement of microorganisms also for the long time, and infection can happen. That time we need to do the suctioning for the patient. And for child with who cannot cough or who cannot blow the secretions by his own, that time we can do the suctioning also. And bronchiolitis also, for that time heavy secretion happen, and we can do the suctioning. And if patient if the child can do secretions do cough by his own, that time we cannot do the suctioning. Then comes to the articles needed for the suctioning: a clean tray containing sterile suction catheter, normal saline or sterile water in a container, and sterile gloves, mask, face shield, alcohol swab and stethoscope. Obviously sterile things we have to we need the sterile things, because of the it is obviously invade procedure, and for inside our body, that time sterility should be maintained for the reducing the risk of any infection or transmission of microorganism. That time for that we have to maintain the sterility. And the sterile tray containing sterile bowl and gauze pieces. Then here is the suction catheter, which have a connector for vacuum and tip and lateral eye also under the tubing. And here is the normal saline. We can take a normal saline or also sterile water. And here is the gloves, sterile gloves, and mask and face shield. Then is stethoscope for knowing the proper placement or airway condition and respiratory status. We can take a stethoscope also. And for suctioning catheter by age and regulated the catheter size, French here FR is FR transfer stands for French. Premi 5 by 6, 5 or 6, and term newborn 5 6 to 8 French. Newborn which age is 6 months, we can take 8 to 10 French, and 1 year to 8 years of age we can take 10 French, and 8 years or older we can take children, we can take 10 to 14 French. Then age and suction pressure, neonates that is the age is 28 days of the delivery, that is 60 to 80 mm of Hg. And for infants, that is age 1 up to 1 year of age, which is called the infant age, we can take 80 to 100 mmHg, and for children 100 to 120 mmHg, and for adults 100 to 150 mm of Hg pressure we can give for the suctioning. Here comes to the procedure for suctioning. First, we have to assemble the equipments and check the functioning of the suction apparatus, whether it is properly functioning or not, and explain the procedure to the patient or relatives. It is very important. Now, what is going, what we are going to do to the patient, it is very important to inform them. And assess baseline data and respiratory status, that is breath sound and ABG values also, for knowing the oxygen and carbon dioxide level in the blood, and provide semi-Fowler's position. It is the proper position for doing the suctioning, and wear the mask and wash hand properly for maintaining the before and after doing any procedure we have to do hand washing, because it is very important for reduce the transmission of microorganism from one to another and reduce the cross infection also. And wear the mask for reduce the infection and to protect self and patient also. And open the sterile tray, place the catheter into it after removing from pack, and wear the sterile gloves and use dominant hand for suction, and connect the suction catheter from suction unit with other hand, that is clean hand, and disconnect patient from oxygen source or any oxygen device. If oxygen is given already, that time disconnect the patient from the O2 source. Then ventilate the patient from ambu bag, artificial manual breathing unit bag, and lubricate catheter with sterile water or normal saline. Then turn on suction unit with a clean hand and pinch the catheter and insert the catheter without force until patient cough or as the feeling of resistance take place. If the catheter inserted and there is any obstruction due to the if there is any resistance feel due to the heavy secretion, that time the force will be free. Then apply the suction by releasing the pinch and withdraw the catheter by gentle rotating movement. And time duration for suctioning should not be greater than 10 seconds. Hyperventilate the patient in between the suction or encourage for deep breath and cough. If the child is we are doing the procedure for child, so that time we cannot instruct him to do deep breath or cough, and we have to check whether the cough is suctioned properly or not, and hyperventilate the child, and repeat the procedure as needed and provide rest between the suction. Then when airway becomes clear, connect the oxygen delivery system to the patient and suction oral secretion from oropharynx. After completing the procedure, turn off the suction unit and disconnect the suction tubing from suction catheter. Remove the gloves and discard the catheter and gloves. Aftercare, it is very important to do. Replace the articles, clean ambu bag and mask with alcohol, and wash hand obviously before and after any procedure. Doing any procedure, we have to do hand washing. Then provide comfortable position to the patient and auscultate the lung area whether it is clear or not, and record the procedure with the time and date and nature of secretions and respiratory sound before and after the procedure to minimize the error. If there is any recording is very important for minimize the error of the procedure or giving the care. Thank you so much.